Unpopular vote, although we'll see. We'll see if it's unpopular, but I no longer believe that Trump won the Electoral College. I'm saying that he didn't win the Electoral College, and I'm saying it proud and I'm saying it loud because I think we've let this man get away with murder. Now, I know everybody says, well, no. He won, Hillary won the popular vote by 3 million people, although Trump seems to think that was, we were busting them in from Guatemala. Like there's a giant bus depot in Guatemala being like, hey, we need your voters. And then we load them up, bust them into Wisconsin, let them vote, and then bring them back or something like that. But I mean, realistically, everybody knows that he lost the popular vote and won the Electoral College. I don't think he did. And what I'm saying that is Nate Silver and all the mathematicians in the country said 100% certainty Hillary's going to win this race. States that she was scheduled to win, like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, Michigan, all these, they flipped at the last minute, okay? Now, razor thin margins. She wins the popular vote by 3 million people, but somehow she loses 3 crucial states by less than 75,000 votes. Wisconsin and Michigan, I mean, it's fewer people than most of you went to high school with that determine those states, okay? So I think Russia hacked into the voting machines. And before you start saying, no, you just blah, 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 there's stories every fucking day coming out. They're in our power grid. They're in our power plants. They're in our water supply. They're in our banking systems. They're in our internet. How can you look at situations where they've hacked Goldman Sachs and your local water treatment facility and the California power grid and say, oh, no, it would be impossible to hack a fucking voting machine, which is the least secure thing they would have been accused of hacking. The voting machines that most of us are using are way less secure than a nuclear power plant. And if you believe they can hack in a nuclear power plant, but you don't think they can hack a voting booth in fucking Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania, I mean, give me a break, you know? They've shown people, experts on YouTube, different things like that, they need a very good hacker and some basic equipment and tools, and hacking into a voting machine is really just not that difficult. And I just feel like Russia's put so much time and effort into all this other stuff. Why would they not be able to do that? How could they, you say that they don't do it? But the only way we could figure that out for sure is if the Justice Department conducted a full-scale investigations of all the Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan voting machines. Maybe Iowa and Florida too. I mean, who knows? But they would have to go in and do an auditing of all the votes, all the machines, check out suspicious activity. And Jeff Sessions doesn't strike me as being particularly interested in doing that for obvious reasons. I mean, Trump won't even admit, he doesn't even admit that Russia hacked the election. He doesn't admit that they were helping him, helping Bernie Sanders, doing everything they could to get rid of Hillary. They hacked the DNC's emails. They used Julian Assange as a puppet. Congress has passed sanctions on Russia, and Trump's White House won't even put them into place. Rex Tillerson, a man Trump did not know, Trump obsessed with loyalty, did not know Rex Tillerson until after he won the race, talked to him for 1 hour, offered him the job as Secretary of State. Rex Tillerson knew Putin for 20 years. Tillerson didn't fund the State Department. He didn't put ambassadors into South Korea, Turkey, crucial positions. Collusion around Trump. Jared Kushner, Michael Flynn, Don Jr., the list goes on and on of all these different people that have been tied to Russia somehow. Paul Manafort. I just don't see how all that collusion, and Trump denies that, and then you somehow can't make the leap to like, okay, they could have hacked into a dozen voting machines spread out over 3 states to influence the election and get him the presidency that he was not supposed to win by even Nate Silver. I mean, this isn't Dewey Truman back in the fucking 40s when you just barely knew anything. I'm like, oh, what's math? What's fractions? I mean, these are sophisticated, complex voting models that Wall Street uses. And yes, they can be wrong, but wrong in 3 separate states. Wrong when the popular vote's 3 million in the other direction. I mean, I always thought the Electoral College was supposed to keep somebody like Trump from getting into the White House. Now it's the only thing that put him in there in the first place. If those people had done their jobs, he never would have taken office. And I'm just not so sure how people can think he really won the race anymore, especially when we know the Justice Department has no interest in getting to the truth about this.